Okay, this is yet another like Lego thing that I've built with the power functions. There's the battery, there's the remote control module, which as I may or may not have mentioned in my other video, it's a lot smaller than I expected it to be. Like when I saw it on the internet and I was ordering it because I never saw it in the store. But anyway, this is, as you may be able to guess, it's a crane. This goes up and down, and it turns around. So without further ado, let's turn it on. Get a little green light there. And, just for a matter of, just to demonstrate, I'll put like a bit of a load here, not much, but show you can actually lift more than its own weight. This is supposedly the and I have it all on remote control. So this one will control the up and down. And as you can see, I put a counterweight there. It is significantly geared down. This thing came off. Okay, that thing that came off and I had to put it back on, that thing sort of guides the string where, so that it doesn't get tangled up. As you can see, or as you can't see, until it focuses, okay, as you can see, I did this little cylinder thing and I taped it to that, and I put this other gear here to keep this. I was hoping to keep the string from wandering, but what ended up happening is that the string kept getting caught in this little space right here, and it would get tangled around the rod, which, I actually put two strings on here so that it wouldn't, like, go all like this. But anyway, what would happen is that the strings would get all tangled up, and it was a real pain to untangle them, so I tried to do a little bit of a guide there so that it wouldn't get tangled. Let's get this out of the way. Saved by the bell. I'll kind of show you the gears that move the crane part. Or, now, one thing to note that may or may not be obvious is that since this wire's up here attached to the still, to the non-moving part of it, it can only go like so far until it starts to kind of pull on this thing, and eventually this thing will be pulled off of the 4 Lego parts that I put there. I used these knobby pieces so that I could secure it to this part. I had to use a lot of the weird, a lot of special Legos to put things together. Just that it would have some form of support. So I use the technical beams, or whatever you call them, and I put like a thing here that holds it in place, and it also holds the whole gear mechanism that turns it. I'll turn around the back. And you can see that part right there. It goes up through that rod. Well, that one doesn't really matter. That one is attached to that rod, which turns that little black gear right there. And that one, same story here, goes to this one, and ta-da, we finally got to that. So I had to make a somewhat long gear train so that it wouldn't like spin around in circles so fast that I could barely control it. One kind of cool thing is that you can see the one thing where you can see the one rod that's like attached to the motor itself right there, turning like that. So you can see how the gear mechanism kind of works. It's a little shaky, I know, but this is the first crane I've ever built with the Lego power function thing. Oops. So it goes all the way down, and it goes all the way up again. You can kind of see how, like, when that thing goes up, it sort of releases like that. Yeah, so if you're gonna do it, almost certainly need a counterweight. So I did add a little bit more to this so that it would be balanced, more or less. Oh, I also geared down this part, not to as much of a degree as this part, but I put a gear here so that, well, for one thing, the string wouldn't get. I was hoping to prevent the string from getting all tangled up, but also to slow it down, but give it more force, so that it would be able to lift heavy things, but it wouldn't it wouldn't like spin so fast that I had like little control over it. One interesting thing is that the remote actually has like a reverse switch, so if I flip it up like this one will respond in the reverse direction, which depending on how your model's built will end up being either forward or backward. So that way you can actually make it go the way you want it to go and correspond with the stick, if you know what I mean. Yeah, please rate and comment. This is the only power functions set I had, so I had to take apart that other thing to build that little car. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and please rate and comment, tell me what you think, and send in video responses if you've built something like this.